On June 15th, 14 girls were murdered in Pakistan simply because they wanted an education. Many people know my story, but there are stories every day of children fighting for an education. The basic right to education is under attack around the world. We need change now, and I need your help to achieve it. You can help me and girls and boys across the world. We are asking the United Nations General Assembly to fund new teachers, schools, books, and recommit to getting every girl and boy in school by December 2015. This July 12th is my 16th birthday, and I am personally delivering this petition to the United Nations Secretary General Ban Ki-moon. I became a victim of terrorism after I spoke out in favor of education of girls. These innocent girls killed in Pakistan have nothing to do with politics and only wanted to empower themselves through education. If we want to bring change, if we want progress, if we want development, if we want the education of girls, we should be united. We should not wait. We should do it now. This is a petition that I signed this morning for Malala to Secretary General Ban Ki-moon, United Nations Secretary. I stand with Malala in demanding that the leaders of the world and our global education emergency after the recent violent deaths of 14 girls in Pakistan who simply wanted an education. I support the civil rights struggle of 57 million girls and boys who will not go to school today or any day. Side by side with Malala, we demand that at the United Nations General Assembly, world leaders agree to fund the new teachers, schools, and books we need, and to end child labor, child marriage, and child trafficking, so that by December 2015 we meet the Millennium Development Goal. Promise that every boy and girl are at school. We must be united in this fight. We must act now. Thank you for standing with us. That's the petition I signed, and I'm going to put the link to the petition at the bottom of this video. I am rather sad in my heart that this is a necessity. I am angry that people use religion to justify keeping women under their thumb. You know, denying women simple things like mobility, letting women ride bikes. Once upon a time, women couldn't ride horses, you know, and it's all, oh, for the sake of, you know, it could damage your reproductive abilities. No, it's all because you want to keep women so they can't explore their world. They can't live a complete life. They're basically within the confines of male supervision. Women are not property, and I think that it's about time that the world realizes that half the population of humanity is not less than the other half, or property to the other half. I hate religion that people can use to justify how they treat women, and women who actually believe this of their own gender, that their own gender is less, or their own gender should be property to the government or to men just because they become pregnant. I don't even listen to women who believe that, because in my opinion they are fully indoctrinated people and they aren't able to think for themselves. They might think that they are, but they're simply parroting what they have had brainwashed into them since childhood by their parents who had it brainwashed into them. So I don't really think that a woman who is pro-life is, I don't know. It's the only thing I can think is this is somebody who has been so programmed that that's what they think, that they really think that a woman's life is less importance than a cluster of cells, and that the government should be able to control whether a woman has control over her own body. For a woman to feel that way about her own gender, all I can think is that's the byproduct of many generations of extreme brainwashing. And there are women out there that actually think that women shouldn't have any choice over their own body, and it's appalling to me. But this all comes down to these religions that create this mentality, that say it's okay because it's what God wants. This is what God wants. God wants women to be under the control of men and the property of men, unless, you know, we're just the most evil things in the world because, you know, Eve transgressed and Adam didn't. You know, it all comes down to this story, this myth that happened that didn't really happen. It's just a story in a book that's just a work of fiction, but we're going to cling to it. We're going to call it fact, and we're going to use that. We're going to point to that and say, this is God's will. This is inspired by God. And so you have to basically live by what this book says. And this is why we refuse to let our girls follow their dreams. We refuse to let our girls have an equal chance to live to their full potential as our sons. You know, it's basically what you're doing. You're depriving your own children, because of what gender they are, from following their dreams, from reaching their aspirations because of their gender. Because of what a book says. I'm sorry, Malala and girls like her, everybody who wants an education should have an education. And I'm sorry, but the sniveling cowards who would go and shoot little girls for wanting an education, they're the lowest of the low. They don't even have the right to be breathing the same air as we are breathing. They shouldn't even be alive. People who kill other people for wanting to better themselves and have a chance to follow their dreams, to be educated. It's disgusting that parents would do this to their own children. It's disgusting that a society would do this to its own future, depriving half of its future the ability to simply be educated and have an equal chance to, I mean, what great mind is being stomped out from, or prevented from reaching its full potential because of some stupid prehistoric sexist thing that somebody came up with, and they then said, oh, this is inspired by God, so it's really important, it's true. Anyway, so this is me having a rant, but it just makes me feel really angry. The whole thing about religion, you know, if no other reason, this is why religion needs to be completely and utterly crushed and destroyed and wiped out from our society, from the face of the earth. These religions need to be exterminated. And I'm not talking about the people who believe in them. I'm talking about the religion, the people who are willing to follow them. They've got to know deep down inside, they've got to know, well, this isn't really true. How can they not know that? How can their sense of normal human fairness not tell them that? But they choose to ignore that inner voice because they're just, yeah, this is what God wants, and I want it too. You know, I want women to be property and completely under my control and whatever. And if she doesn't live to my standards, I can stone her to death, and it's not even murder. So yeah, people like this. I'm not saying that people should be exterminated. It's a poor choice of words. But this mentality, this way of thinking that's encouraged by these books, by the Bible, by the Quran. Somehow this needs to be, I mean, fine, you want to believe it, you want to have that be your what you build your belief system on, that's fine, you have that right, but don't make other people suffer because of what you want to believe. If you want to believe women are less and women should be the property of men, fine, but don't actually make somebody be property because you have these twisted beliefs. Don't actually deprive a child of their full opportunity, their full potential, just because you have this twisted belief. No child should be deprived of the chance to be educated. No child should be deprived of the chance to further themselves and grow to their full potential just because you have these twisted beliefs. And I guess that's my what I'm trying to say is, fine, you want to have the beliefs, fine, you can have the beliefs, but it should not have the power that it does. It just shouldn't have any power over other people's lives. It shouldn't be given the authority that it's given. It's just a book. And it's not, there's absolutely nothing to show that it was inspired by any deity. It's just a book. And just because the book says that it's inspired by a deity, that doesn't mean jack shit, because the book was written by humans who wanted you to think that it was. So anyway, I saw this petition, I signed it. It made me think. I didn't really know a story about 14 girls who were killed for wanting an education. The very idea just enrages me. So I'm a little pissed off about that. I'm pissed off about what happened to Malala. I hope I'm saying her name right. I'm pissed off that there's this mentality on the planet still. I'm pissed off that I see it in my own gender. It's not just sexist men who think women are less. It's women who think women are less. It's awful that a religion can do that. That it can actually convince somebody that she's actually less than somebody else just because of what's between her legs. So I didn't mean for this to be a rant, but it's become a rant, and I think that we need to take strong action against this mentality. We need to make it impossible, or we need to punish people who would kill children for just wanting to follow their dreams. So anyway, thanks for watching. Bye.